Donald Trump held a long press conference addressing multiple issues about America and the ongoing war. He suggested that when a war is going well, people tend to support it, but when things turn unfavorable, the situation becomes much worse. He also appeared to be deeply entangled in domestic U.S. politics, with indications that his support is declining. Reports suggest that even American support for Israel is weakening. Recent surveys show that Trump's popularity has dropped, and many Americans now view this as Israel's war rather than their own. According to a CNN poll, a large percentage of Israelis believe this as well, while support for Israel within the United States has declined. Events in Gaza, along with joint actions by the U.S. and Israel against Iran, have led many Americans to believe that these developments were driven by Benjamin Netanyahu pulling the U.S. into the conflict. During the press conference, Trump made several key and at times contradictory statements. He claimed that the military operation he referred to as Operation Epic Fury was successful, while critics argued it was becoming a failure. He also suggested that the war could end very soon, even within the week, while simultaneously claiming that Iranian forces had already been completely destroyed. At the same time, Trump accused Iran of launching large-scale missile attacks on neighboring countries not directly involved in the conflict. However, media outlets like CNN highlighted inconsistencies in his statements, showing clips where he said one thing before the press conference and something entirely different during it. In the same briefing, Trump claimed that the U.S. did not need help, but shortly afterward called for international support. He declared victory while also stating that America was still at war and needed assistance. He further asserted that Iran had only a limited number of missiles and drones left, yet described ongoing large-scale attacks. Trump also stated that Iranian military capabilities had been nearly eliminated and claimed the world would become safer after the war. However, Iran has denied such claims, insisting it still retains significant military strength. He also expressed disappointment with allies, suggesting that organizations like NATO had not provided sufficient support despite significant U.S. investment. Discussing global energy concerns, Trump pointed out that only a small percentage of U.S. oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz, whereas countries like China, Japan, and South Korea rely heavily on it. He called on these nations to take responsibility for securing the route, as tensions in the region have threatened global oil supply. Trump also made controversial remarks about traditional allies, stating that the U.S. no longer needed Britain, and hinted that other countries should step up to protect their own interests. However, many major nations, including European and Asian powers, have largely avoided direct involvement in the conflict. Meanwhile, reports suggesting that Mohammed bin Salman influenced U.S. actions were denied by Saudi sources, who emphasized their desire to avoid conflict with Iran. During the Q&A session, Trump made further striking claims, including uncertainty about the status of Ali Khamenei and assertions that Iran's leadership had been severely weakened. He also admitted that both military and commercial targets had been struck, raising concerns about escalation and potential retaliation. Trump emphasized that key Iranian facilities had been destroyed and suggested that the war was nearing its end. However, he also warned Europe about global security, stating that Vladimir Putin fears only the United States and not Europe, implying growing geopolitical tensions. In Europe, some leaders have begun discussing the possibility of normalizing relations with Russia to reduce economic and energy pressures. This reflects a broader shift in global politics as countries reconsider alliances and long-term strategies. Trump also acknowledged that Iran had proven to be a strong and capable power, admitting that its response had exceeded expectations. Iran, in turn, challenged his claims and questioned why the U.S. was unable to secure key strategic areas if its military success was as complete as stated. The broader situation has raised serious global concerns about reliance on the United States as a security partner. Many countries are now reassessing their positions, especially after witnessing how the conflict has unfolded. Overall, the world appears to be entering a period of significant change. Alliances are shifting, new power dynamics are emerging, and the outcome of these developments could reshape global politics over the next decade.